You told yourself this month would be different. No more random spending. No more just one more purchase. No more guilt at the end of the month. And yet, somehow, the money still disappeared. You didn't make a terrible decision. You didn't gamble it away. You didn't do anything stupid. It just slipped. Rent, groceries, a few meals out, subscriptions you barely remember signing up, a quick online order because it was on sale, another because you were tired, another because, why not? And suddenly you're back where you started. Mike is 29. He earns $3,800 a month after taxes as a marketing coordinator. Not rich, but not struggling either. He keeps telling himself the same thing every month. I just need more discipline. He even tried it. For 2 weeks, he tracked every dollar. He skipped takeout, canceled a couple subscriptions, said no to friends twice. And for a moment, it worked. He saved $420 that month. He felt proud, in control, different. Then month 2 came. Work got stressful. He started ordering food again. He stopped checking his app daily. Just this once, he said. Then it happened again. Savings dropped back to zero. Credit card crept up to $1,000. And that quiet frustration returned. Not anger, not panic, just disappointment. He blamed himself. I just don't have enough willpower. That sentence is where most people get stuck. And it sounds reasonable, but it's wrong. Because willpower feels like the obvious solution. You think, if I can resist junk food, I can resist bad spending. If I can wake up early, I can control my money. If I can just try harder, everything will fix itself. But here's the uncomfortable truth. You don't have a money problem. You have a system problem. And willpower is not a system. Willpower is temporary. It's emotional. It's fragile. And worst of all, it runs out. Think about your day. At 9 a.m. you're focused. At 1 p.m. you're still okay. But by 7 p.m., you're tired, hungry, mentally drained. That's when the decisions happen. That's when you order food instead of cooking. That's when you click buy now instead of waiting. That's when I deserve this sounds convincing. Not because you're weak, because you're human. Your brain has a limited amount of decision energy each day. Every choice drains it. What to wear, what to eat, what to say in that meeting, what to reply to that message. By the time money decisions show up, you're already running on empty. And in that moment, willpower doesn't stand a chance. That's the first thing no one tells you. People who are good with money don't rely on discipline. They rely on design. Sarah is 34. She makes $5,200 a month after taxes as a nurse. She doesn't track every expense. She doesn't obsess over budgets. In fact, she's not particularly disciplined, and yet she saves $1,300 every month, consistently. Because the moment her paycheck hits, $900 goes into a retirement account. $400 goes into a separate savings account. Automatically. She never sees that money in her checking account, so she never has to resist spending it. She didn't become better at resisting temptation. She removed the temptation entirely. That's different. Meanwhile, Mike is still fighting himself every day. Every purchase is a battle. Every decision requires effort. Every month resets the struggle. He's trying to win a game that's designed to make him lose. And here's why. Modern life is engineered to break your willpower. Not accidentally, systematically. Every app you use, every store you walk into, every email you open is designed to make spending easier, frictionless. One click to buy, saved cards, instant approval. You don't even feel the transaction anymore. Money leaves your account silently, effortlessly. That's not a coincidence. Subscriptions are the perfect example. $9.99 here, $14.99 there, another $7.99. It doesn't feel like much until you add it up. Let's say you have Netflix, $15, Spotify, $11, gym, $45, 2 random apps, $20 total. That's $91 a month or $1,092 a year. If that $1,092 was invested instead, earning an average 7% a year, in 10 years that's about $15, $100, not from discipline, from small invisible decisions. Mike didn't choose to spend $1,000 a year on subscriptions. He drifted into it. That's the second thing no one tells you. Most money problems don't come from big mistakes. They come from drift. Slow, quiet, unnoticed. A $6 coffee doesn't matter. Until it's every day. $6 30 days, $180 a month. That's $2,160 a year. Invested at 7% annually for 20 years. That's about $88,000 from coffee. Not because coffee is evil, because repetition is powerful. And this is where willpower completely fails, because you're not fighting one big decision. You're fighting hundreds of small ones every single day. Coffee, snacks, Uber instead of walking, impulse Amazon scroll. Each one feels harmless, but together, they shape your financial life. And here's the trap. You can win 90% of those decisions and still lose financially. Mike cooks at home 4 nights a week. Great. But the other 3 nights? $25 delivery each time. That's $75 a week. $300 a month. $3,600 a year. One habit cancels the other. That's how fragile willpower-based systems are. Because you're constantly juggling. Trying to be perfect. Trying to stay consistent. Trying not to slip. But slipping is inevitable. Not because you're lazy. Because the system demands perfection. And humans aren't built for that. So if willpower doesn't work, what does? That's the question most people never fully answer. They just keep trying harder. But Mike is starting to notice something. It's not about trying harder. It's about making things easier. Easier to save, harder to spend, automatic where possible. Because the real goal isn't control, it's alignment. Align your environment with the behavior you want, instead of fighting yourself every day. And once you see this, you can't unsee it. Because the problem was never your discipline. It was the way your money decisions were set up. But this is just the surface. Because when you really understand what's happening under the hood, you stop blaming yourself completely. And you start seeing money in a completely different way. Not as a test of character, but as a system you can redesign. And that's where everything begins to change. Part 1. Reactive spending. You think you're making financial decisions, but most of the time, you're reacting. Reacting to a sale, reacting to a notification, reacting to how you feel in that moment. And reactions don't build wealth. They leak it. Not all at once, not dramatically, just slowly. Part 2. Small spending trap. Mike doesn't wake up thinking, I'm gonna waste money today. He just opens his phone, scrolls a bit, sees something interesting, and then $18 gone, $42 gone, $73 gone. Not painful enough to stop, not small enough to ignore, just constant. Part 3. Why it adds up. This is what makes money so tricky. Big mistakes are easy to avoid. Small ones are invisible, until they're not. At the end of the month, it looks like a big problem. But it wasn't one decision. It was 200 tiny ones. Part 4. Your brain versus money. And your brain. It's not designed to track 200 decisions. It's designed to survive. Thousands of years ago, your brain helped you find food, avoid danger, conserve energy. Today, it helps you click buy now. Same wiring, different world. Part 5. Dopamine effect. Back then, if something felt good, you did it. Because good usually meant survival. Today, if something feels good, it often means spending. That little hit of excitement when a package arrives. That's real. Your brain releases dopamine, a chemical that says do this again. Not because you needed the item, but because your brain liked the process. Part 6. Willpower fails. This is where willpower quietly breaks down. You're not fighting logic. You're fighting biology. And biology usually wins, especially when you're tired, stressed, or emotional. Part 7. Jessica's story. Jessica is 31. She makes $4,600 a month as a project manager. She's smart, organized, responsible. But every time work gets overwhelming, she shops. Not crazy purchases. Nothing extreme. Just things, clothes, home decor, random useful items. Part 8. Emotional spending. Each one feels justified. I've had a long day. I deserve this. It's on sale anyway. By the end of the month, she's spent an extra $600. Not planned, not tracked, just emotional spending. Part 1. The raise and the illusion. The raise felt amazing. Finally, all those late nights paid off. All that pressure meant something. Mike's income jumped from $3,800 to $5,500 a month. That's an extra $1,700. A big leap. A real opportunity. Part 2. Celebration and upgrade. So he celebrated. Dinner with friends. A weekend trip. A few I deserve this purchases. Nothing crazy. Just better. He upgraded his life. Slightly better food. Slightly better clothes. Slightly more convenience. Each change felt small. Reasonable. Earned. Part 3. The hidden math. Rent upgrade plus $400. Food and dining, $350. Subscriptions and lifestyle, $200. Transport and convenience, bus $150. Total increase, $1,100. Out of the $1,700 raise, $100 disappeared automatically. Part 4. The invisible shift. He didn't notice because it didn't feel like spending. It felt like improving. This is lifestyle creep, and it's silent. No alarms. No warnings, no guilt. Just gradual expansion. Your life stretches to fit your income. Not because you're reckless, because it feels natural. Part 5. Jessica's story. Jessica got a raise too, from $4,600 to $6,200 a month. She told herself she'd be smarter this time, and she tried. She even wrote down a plan. Save $1,000 per month. Invest consistently. Avoid unnecessary upgrades. It looks solid. Part 6. Slow drift. Then slowly, things shifted. Better apartment. More eating out. Higher quality everything. Not excessive. Just elevated. Part 7. The cost. Rent, $600. Dining and lifestyle, plus $500. Shopping and upgrades, punch is $300. Total increase. She's still saving, but not $1,500. More like $400. Part 8. The illusion of success. And she doesn't feel like she failed because technically she didn't. She just adjusted quietly. Part 9. The trap. This is the dangerous part. You feel like you're moving forward, but you're staying in place. More money, same pressure, better lifestyle, same financial position. That's the trap. Part 10. The real problem. Mike thought making more would fix everything, but now he still checks his account before the end of the month. Still feels a bit tight, still wonders, where did it go? Because income didn't solve the problem, it just scaled it. Part 11. The pattern. More money in, more money out. Same pattern. This is where most people get stuck for years, even decades, waiting for the next raise to finally feel in control. Part 12. Moving target. $3,000 a month. I'll be okay at $5,000. $5,000 a month. I'll be fine at $8,000. $8,000 a month. I just need $10,000. The target keeps moving, always just out of reach. Part 13. The truth. Because your expectations grow with your income. Always. You don't notice it happening, but it is. And if you rely on willpower, you lose again. Part 14. Justification. Because every upgrade feels justified. I worked hard for this. I deserve better. It's not that expensive. Individually, all true. Together, financial drift. Part 15. The shift. So what actually works here? Because telling yourself don't upgrade your life isn't realistic. And honestly, not even necessary. Part 16. The system. You don't need to avoid a better life. You need to control the direction of your upgrades. Mike tries something different. Not stricter discipline, a better structure. Part 17. The buckets. He divides his money into 3 parts. Future. Fixed life. Flexible spending. Future 20%. Fixed life. 50 to 60%. Flexible 20 to 30%. Part 18. Automation professional. The moment his paycheck arrives, $1,100 disappears into savings and investments before he touches anything. Non-negotiable. Part 19. Jessica adjusts. Jessica adjusts too. Instead of saving what's left, she locks in $1,500 automatically, then builds her lifestyle around the rest. Now her upgrades have limits, not based on willpower, based on structure. Trade-offs become visible. This changes everything, because now every upgrade has a cost. More dining out, less travel. Better apartment, less investing. More shopping, less future freedom. Trade-offs become visible. Part 21. Clarity. And when trade-offs are visible, decisions become easier, not harder. She still enjoys her life, still upgrades things, but intentionally, not automatically. Part 22, the deeper shift. And this is where the second shift begins. You stop asking, can I afford this? And you start asking, what does this cost me later? Not in dollars. In freedom. That's a different question. Part 23, final realization. Because money isn't just about spending and saving. It's about time, options, control over your life. And once you connect those dots, you stop playing the short-term game. You start thinking in decades, not days. Part 1, the unexpected moment. There's a moment most people don't expect. It doesn't come when you're broke. It doesn't come when you're struggling. It comes when you finally have enough money to breathe and you realize something feels off. Part 2, Mike today. Mike is 36 now. He's earning $8,200 a month. He has about $95,000 invested across accounts. Another $18,000 in cash savings. On paper, he's doing well. He's not stressed about bills anymore. He's not living paycheck to paycheck, but something changed. Part 3, the subtle shift. He stopped thinking about money the way he used to. Less urgency, less pressure, more awareness. He started noticing how everyone around him still felt stuck, even people making more than him. Part 4, same loop, different level. One friend makes $12,000 a month, still stressed. Another earns $15,000, still waiting for the next raise. Same loop, different level. Nothing changed. Part 5, the game. That's when it clicks. The game most people are playing isn't designed to end. It's designed to continue. Earn more, spend more, upgrade more, repeat. Part 6, no finish line. No finish line, no enough, just motion. Part 7, a different question, but Mike starts asking a different question. Not how much can I earn, but how much do I actually need? Part 8, the numbers. His monthly lifestyle costs about $3,500. Comfortable, not extreme. $3,500, 12 equals $42,000 a year. Part 9, the idea being if he had about $50,000 invested, that could generate roughly $42,000 a year. Without touching the core. Not guaranteed, not perfect, but possible. Part 10, the shift. That's the shift. Money isn't about having more. It's about needing less. That's aha moment number 2. Part 11, freedom logic. Because the less you need, the less you depend on. Part 12, Jessica today. Jessica is 38 now. She followed a similar path. Not perfectly, not aggressively, just consistently. Part 13, her numbers. Income $7,500 per month. Spending about $4,000 per month. Investments $14,000 and growing. Part 14, real freedom. She takes 2 months off between jobs. Not because she's rich, because she can. That's freedom. Part 15, what freedom means. Not yachts, not luxury cars. Time, options, breathing room. Part 16, the missing idea. And here's what most people miss. You don't need millions to feel this. You need margin. Part 17, the gap. The gap between what you earn and what you need. That gap is everything. Part 18, system effect. Because once your system is built and your lifestyle is controlled, money starts behaving differently. Part 19, quiet growth. It grows quietly, in the background, without constant effort, like it should. Part 20, compounding. $500 per month invested at 7% annually. After 10 years, about $86,000. After 20 years, about $260,000. After 30 years, about $610,000. Not magic, just time doing the heavy lifting. Part 21, the surprise. And here's the part that surprises people. The biggest gains don't come at the beginning. They come later. Part 22, growth curve. Year 1 to 10 feels slow. Year 10 to 20 feels better. Year 20 to 30 feels exponential. That's the payoff. Part 23, the reality clip. But none of this happens if you rely on willpower. Part 24, the truth about systems. Because willpower doesn't survive decades. Systems do. Environment does. Automation does, clarity does. Part 25, effortless behavior. Mike doesn't think about saving anymore. It happens. Jessica doesn't debate every purchase. She knows her limits. Decisions became fewer and better. Part 26, the real goal. And that's the real goal. Not perfection, not restriction, simplicity. Part 27, the right question. So when you look at your own money, don't ask, why am I not disciplined? Ask, what system am I relying on? Part 28, final truth. Because if the system depends on willpower, it will fail. Not sometimes, eventually. Part 29, the outcome. But if the system supports you, guides you, removes friction, then something surprising happens. Part 30, closing insight. You stop fighting money, and money starts working with you, quietly, consistently, in the background. And that's when you realize it was never about trying harder. It was about designing better.